Dubai sold the world a vision of endless luxury, impossibly tall towers, palaces on artificial islands, and streets lit with money. But today, those same spaces echo with silence. Luxury hotels are quietly slashing prices, and once bustling malls are losing their crowds. If Dubai's playground is this empty, what threatened the engine behind its rise? The answer is not what the headlines ever promised. In the early 1960s, Dubai was little more than a small port town, its population barely reaching 20,000. Oil discoveries in the late 1960s set off a transformation that would soon redraw the city's horizon. By the 1970s, a wave of ambition swept across the desert. Rulers opened the city to foreign investors with free zone policies, allowing outsiders to own businesses and property. This unlocked a flood of capital, fueling a construction boom few had ever witnessed. Over the next decades, Dubai became a laboratory for spectacle. The Palm Jumeirah rose from the Gulf in the early 2000s, offering beachfront mansions and luxury hotels where there had once been only open water. The Burj Khalifa, completed in 2010, soared to 828 meters, claiming the title of the world's tallest building. Each project was bigger, bolder, and more audacious than the last, an endless race to outdo what came before. The city's leaders understood that spectacle alone could not sustain growth. They crafted policies to attract not just tourists, but workers, entrepreneurs, and entire families from around the globe. Free zones like Jebel Ali and Dubai Internet City lured international companies with tax breaks and minimal restrictions. By 2020, nearly 90% of Dubai residents were expatriates, drawn by the promise of opportunity and a cosmopolitan lifestyle. Expo 2020, delayed by the pandemic, but launched in October 2021, brought millions of visitors and cemented Dubai's place on the global stage. The event showcased futuristic architecture and innovation, reinforcing the city's brand as a hub for progress and luxury. Between 1975 and 2025, Dubai population exploded from 175,000 to over 4 million, a staggering growth rate powered by relentless marketing and a steady influx of foreign talent and investment. Yet beneath the glittering skyline, the city's model depended on a constant flow of new people and new money. Every new tower, every artificial island, every mega mall was built on the expectation that tomorrow would always bring more. Dubai's spectacular rise was engineered, brick by brick and policy by policy, to keep the world's attention and its capital pouring in. Hotel managers in Dubai have watched the numbers closely. Official reports for 2025 highlight occupancy rates near 79%, with December peaking at over 84%, the highest since 2006. At first glance, these figures seem to confirm Dubai's enduring appeal. Behind the scenes, though, a different story circulates among revenue managers. In private meetings, they scrutinize not just how many rooms are filled, but at what price. A single-month decline in revenue per available room in May 2021, even as rooms stayed occupied, signaled a growing reliance on discounts and bundled offers to keep beds full. Some of the city's most famous addresses, Atlantis The Palm and Jumeirah Beach Hotel, quietly rolled out free upgrades, 2-for-1 spa deals, and extended stay packages. These promotions rarely made headlines, but insiders knew they were a sign of mounting pressure. While the lobby might look busy on weekends, midweek often brought stretches of quiet, with staff adjusting rates in real time to attract last-minute bookings. The numbers tell part of the story, but the atmosphere in Dubai's flagship hotels tells another. Revenue managers describe a constant balancing act, keeping occupancy high enough for the statistics while sacrificing room rates to maintain those levels. A manager at a luxury property recalls that they were full, but not at the rates they wanted. Every discount is a gamble. Will it fill the rooms, or just train guests to expect more for less? Retail districts echo this tension. Dubai Mall, once a magnet for international shoppers, sees fluctuations in foot traffic that do not always match the city's promotional campaigns. Some weekends bring crowds, but weekdays can feel sparse, especially in high-end boutiques. The city's entertainment venues and resorts, too, have adapted, offering bundled tickets and loyalty perks to draw visitors back. On paper, Dubai's hospitality sector remains a global leader. But behind the glossy statistics, the city's hotels and malls are working harder than ever to hold on to their allure. The headline numbers mask a growing fragility, one that managers feel in every rate cut, every empty table, and every quiet corridor. Rents in Dubai have pushed higher year after year, outpacing wage growth for many households. Listings on Bayat and Dubizzle show sharp increases, especially in popular neighborhoods like Dubai South and Jumeirah Village Circle, where supply can't keep pace with the city's daily influx of nearly 470 new residents. Only about 1 in 5 new homes promised by developers actually reach completion on time, leaving families to compete for limited options and driving up prices even further. Middle-class professionals, once able to save or upgrade, now find themselves spending a growing share of their income just to stay put. Service charges, utilities, and everyday costs add to the squeeze, making even basic living feel uncertain. The stress does not end with money. For most expatriates, residency is tied directly to their job. A lost position means a cancelled visa, often with as little as 30 days to pack up, settle debts, and leave the country. There is no safety net, no path to permanent residency for the majority. One mid-career expat describes the anxiety of renewal season. Every year, it's a gamble. One wrong move and you're out. This sense of fragility ripples through the market as families weigh every decision against the risk of sudden upheaval. Dubai's real estate market is caught in a paradox. On one hand, transaction volumes have soared to historic highs, with more than 150 homes needed every single day just to keep up with the city's swelling population. Yet only 21% of the 152,000 units launched in recent years have actually reached completion, according to Dubai Land Department data. The result is a widening delivery gap between what is promised and what is delivered, leaving buyers and renters scrambling for options that often do not materialize on time. A leading real estate analyst describes the mood as anxious but watchful. Investors are still pouring money into off-plan projects, chasing the next big opportunity, but many are quietly hedging their bets. Some developers are tapping the brakes, delaying handovers, or scaling back new launches, wary of overcommitting in a market where supply risks running behind demand. The numbers look bullish on the surface, record transactions and rising prices, but the underlying delivery gap is fueling uncertainty. For every headline about booming sales, there is a growing undercurrent of caution as capital waits to see if the city can actually deliver on its promises. HR managers across Dubai are tracking signals that could define what happens next. On LinkedIn, hiring rates for mid-level roles in hospitality and real estate have plateaued after years of steady growth. Recruiters say the volume of job postings now lags behind the city's rising population, a subtle warning that the job market's momentum may be slowing. Meanwhile, airfare data tells its own story. Prices for flights to Dubai remain high, but routes to Istanbul, Riyadh, and Mal are increasingly competitive, tempting travelers and business people to look elsewhere. Rental yields, once a magnet for foreign investors, have started to flatten as more units come online, even as demand still outpaces supply. Property analysts watch unsold inventory and transaction volumes, knowing that a sudden spike in listings or a drop in yields could signal deeper trouble. 3 indicators now form an unofficial watch list. Hotel occupancy rates below the 2025 average of 78.5%, a sustained drop in new job postings, and a rise in unsold housing inventory tracked by the Dubai Land Department. If these metrics hold steady or improve, Dubai's model may weather the storm. If they slip, the risk of a slow, grinding decline grows. For HR professionals and investors alike, the city's future will be measured in data, not headlines. Dubai's future hangs on its ability to offer more than spectacle. As global cities compete for residents and talent, a model built on constant growth faces real limits. What happens next will test whether ambition alone can sustain a city, or if reinvention becomes its only option.